So firstly, before we get into the brain and the psychological effects, I need to define the supernatural for you guys, right? So the supernatural is just an entity or a spirit that operates beyond the physical realm, beyond the realm that you see, beyond science, beyond human knowledge, okay? It operates beyond things. So like you could say it's like emotions, but we understand emotions. We understand it's like a chemical reaction. Supernatural is way beyond emotions, all right? Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's supernatural. Supernatural is a separate entity entirely, from this physical realm, but it greatly influences the physical realm, okay? It greatly influences your emotions. It greatly influences you as a human being. It greatly influences your body, all right? So that's like spirituality in a nutshell, right? The supernatural, beyond natural, super, but still works in the natural, right? So I hope you understand that, because this is kind of a hard concept to get around when you're trying to operate at a logical prefrontal cortex mind, all right? Just remember this definition, all right? Supernatural, something that operates beyond the natural that greatly affects the natural world, all right? That's basically what it is, the supernatural. So we're going to be looking at the prefrontal cortex and then the amygdala, all right? The prefrontal cortex is what makes us human, right? Our logic, our reasoning, our knowledge, it's what makes us human. The amygdala is basically the most primal part of the brain. It's our animalistic instinct, right? So it's usually associated with fear, but really the amygdala is your animalistic side, your primal side, your monkey brain, as we guys like to say, like when we go monkey. So when you're going about your daily life, like when you're just operating naturally, your amygdala and prefrontal cortex constantly fight. They constantly bash heads, because you have this super advanced prefrontal cortex, this thing that makes you human, but you still have this monkey brain that constantly hijacks your prefrontal cortex. Like whenever you get tempted, like this is your desire to breathe, this is your desire to eat. This is why everyone is down bad, basically. Your amygdala, along with like how accessible it is to like satisfy your needs, you know? Like this is why so many people are down bad. Technology has done this amygdala hijacking, where now the amygdala thinks you're winning. It thinks like you're breeding, you're spreading your seed, you're advancing your empire, you're advancing the human race, but really you're just watching porn. Your prefrontal cortex knows you're just watching porn, man. So it's a constant battle. This is how addictions develop, right? Like when you get addicted to alcohol, you start releasing dopamine levels similar to when you have sex. Like similar dopamine levels to when you literally when you reproduce. Like this is like the inner workings of an addiction. So like you realize after you do your addiction, after you drink, after you masturbate, you have this huge regret. Now that's your prefrontal cortex thinking again, because your amygdala hijacks your prefrontal cortex. It hijacks your prefrontal cortex temporarily when you give in to those temptations. After you satisfy yourself, your prefrontal cortex kicks into gear again. So that's why we have the post-nut clarity. We have the I don't want to drink again, and when you get hungover, like never again. But it's a cycle. It's a constant battle, guys. Like this is why addictions are so hard to break away from. So this is how the Holy Spirit comes into play, all right? Basically, when you receive the Holy Spirit through acknowledging you're a sinner, believing in Jesus, wanting to have a relationship with Him, He gives you a piece of His amygdala, all right? God gives you the Holy Spirit, which is basically a heavenly amygdala. It has a holy instinct to chase righteousness, to chase you get dopamine hits when you practice holy activity, like when you keep things pure. That's basically what the Holy Spirit is. It's a holy amygdala. It completely hijacks your monkey brain. It replaces your monkey amygdala and gives you God's brain, gives you God's amygdala, a limited power of God's holiness. So that's why there's a radical change. When people give their life to Christ, they're a completely different person. Now their dopamine reward system rewards delayed gratification. It's just in their nature now. They just don't have the desire to watch porn anymore. They don't have the desire they broke free from these addictions. Because their monkey brain has been hijacked by a holy brain, by the Holy Spirit. This is what it means to have the Holy Spirit. The psychological definition of a Holy Spirit. Like, this is my theory. I'm coining it as the holy amygdala. You know? Just so you guys can really understand what's happening here. So now, because you have a holy amygdala, your prefrontal cortex, your human nature, agrees with this amygdala. He agrees with the Holy Spirit. So now your entire brain works in harmony. They're no longer fighting. It's no longer a fight of suppressing the animalistic instincts. It's no longer a battle, dude. You have a holy amygdala, the Holy Spirit, and then you have your human prefrontal cortex, which agrees with the values of the Holy Spirit. Your brain is now at peace. This is why God, Jesus, is the King of Peace. From a psychological standpoint, you literally have harmony in your brain. That's what causes the radical change. So I hope you guys understand this. Because like this is a supernatural encounter, guys. Like, the church will not teach you this. I guarantee the church will not tell you this information. Alright? Like, my whole life purpose, guys, is to bring non-believers to the light through logic and reasoning, okay? Because clearly the way the gospel is being taught right now is not effective. This is completely life-changing. The implications of receiving a supernatural spirit is incomprehensible by human nature. You just have to take the leap, guys. Trust me, you have to take this leap to experience it for yourself. Because I can tell you all these rational decisions. I can tell you, dude, people in the Bible, when Jesus was on the cross, guys, and they saw from their very eyes that he rose from the dead, there were still skeptics, guys. Like, I can convince you as much as I try, but at the end of the day, it's all up to you. You have to take this leap of faith, guys. Otherwise, I'll sound crazy to you forever. Because this is supernatural. Jesus is supernatural. God is supernatural. I can do all my research. I can consult with the Holy Spirit all I want. But I just know there will be so many skeptics. And if you're a major skeptic, that's a blessing. Because you know why you're skeptic? You're secretly yearning for it. It's like when someone gives you $1 million and then you suddenly start doubting, you start questioning, why is this guy giving me $1 million, dude? Like, do I deserve this? Is he trying to scam me? That's what you skeptics are like. And trust me, I was that. Like, why would you give me a holy amygdala? Like, there has to be a catch. Things can't be this good. It's too good to be true. That was my reaction. That's why I was a lukewarm Christian for so much of my life, dude. I couldn't believe that you could randomly change like this. I didn't believe it. But now I took that leap of faith. I now understand. And I'm still grounded on earth, guys. I'm still grounded with how Gen Z thinks. I'm not completely in heaven. Like, I'm not in heaven, obviously. I'd love to be in heaven, man. But like, I really, really hope you guys understand what I'm getting at. Like, go research what the amygdala is, what the role of the amygdala in their limbic system is, and research what the prefrontal cortex is. I'm really watering this down. I'm watering this down so much just so you guys can understand, all right? Well, what's happening when us Christians give our life to God, surrender our life to God. So, and especially if you're on self-improvement, guys, there's no excuse to not be a Christian. God literally advocates for this lifestyle. Why not have God himself within you? Why not have God's amygdala? Why not override your monkey brain and start having a holy brain, man? Why not? It makes self-improvement so much easier. You just have the discipline instantly, guys. Alright? Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you understand. I really pray you understand, guys. This is real. This is no fairy tale anymore. I'm living testimony. You can message me. You can hit me with questions on Instagram, on YouTube comments, man. I'm still starting this channel, so like I'm not super huge yet that I have the luxury to ignore people. I love conversation. I love talking to all you guys, alright? Please, like, all questions, any questions, come to me, man. But most importantly, pray to God, dude. Like, He's the one who knows all. But if you want a human perspective, like a sober mind with all this supernatural stuff, because the spiritual realm and supernatural spirituality is really, it's really hard to grasp when you are not born again. And I am blessed that God still gave me this grounded brain. Like, I could have completely just went super religious and ditched this whole world, you know? But like, I prayed to God that I would become a bridge to the people who are yearning for something more, people yearning for a higher power. This is the very reason of my existence, guys. So please, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to contact me, okay? Instagram, YouTube comments, man. That's where I'm at. Right? Peace. See you guys.